Hello everyone, my name is Julian Blake and this is my presentation for industry interview number 4. For this assignment, I interviewed Billy Mangum, who is the Director of Communications for the Sun Belt Conference. Mangum is from Lawrenceville, Georgia. He graduated high school in 2010 from Providence Christian Academy. He later attended Piedmont College where he got his bachelor's degree in English. Then he earned his master's degree in sport management from Auburn University at Montgomery. He has been in the sport management field for about 8 years before he recently got his job with the Sun Belt Conference. When I asked Mr. Mangum how he got his job, he told me that it was because of a text he received from a friend letting him know about the opening. This is why it is so important to build your network, because you never know when a colleague is going to present you with an opportunity to help advance your career and take you to the next level. Mr. Mangum described his job as having to oversee all communications for the Sun Belt Conference. Although he does have 3 specific sports that he is responsible for, all communications for every team and every school within the Sun Belt is what he is ultimately in charge of. When I asked Mr. Mangum what was the difference between working for an individual school versus working for a conference, he told me that when you work for a school, you have to be responsible for all sports at that school, equally covering each sport and creating their schedules. You have the opportunity to get close with coaches, staff, and even the athletes at that school. Working for a conference, on the other hand, requires you to be unbiased and focus on all schools within that conference. You only get involved with news that deals with the conference as a whole. Mr. Mangum strongly believes that more people should get involved in terms of volunteering and internships. With that being said, he uses his platform to reach out to people and try to get them involved with these opportunities. Events like the New Orleans Bowl is an example of the type of exposure that he provides. The main points of this interview were the advantage to having a positive attitude and learning mindset while working in the sport management field, and how important diversity is within this field. According to Mr. Mangum, people love working with people that are coachable and willing to learn. If you're at a job and no one can tell you what you're doing wrong and how to fix it because you can't receive criticism, you become a difficult case to work with. And eventually, no one will want to deal with you because they feel like they can't get through to you. So why bother? On the other hand, if you are coachable, people will feel more comfortable telling you your flaws because they know that you will receive their advice and fix the problem. Your team only wants to see you grow. The next point, which touches on diversity, is critical because jobs should not be about one sex or one race, according to Mr. Mangum. Instead, it should be an open invitation to anyone willing to learn and have equal opportunities available for everyone. No matter where someone comes from, if they come in with the right mindset and the opportunity presents itself, they should be given that opportunity. The biggest takeaway from this interview is that sometimes there is no solution. I asked Mr. Mangum how does he deal with situations that would put the Sun Belt in a negative light. And he told me that he does all that he can to help keep a positive image around the Sun Belt and keeping their core values. But sometimes there's just no solution. When we deal with problems in our lives, we think that there's always an answer for them. Sometimes it's not. You have to understand that every situation is not soluble. Take it as a learning lesson and just move on. If I had the chance to interview Mr. Mangum again, something I would do different would be to pay more attention. During the process of setting up this interview, I misspelled Mr. Mangum's name not once, but twice. I thought for sure that he would not want to do the interview anymore because of the lack of professionalism on my part. Things that I could do different would be to take my time and just really focus on what I'm doing because accuracy is more important than speed at the end of the day. To summarize, I believe that this interview was very beneficial to me because I was able to learn the sport manager's role not only in the NCAA but the conference level. I got to see the different struggles that Mr. Mangum deal with, from the barriers of entry into his profession to even working the day-to-day operations that he does. Also, I gained an appreciation for his job because before this, I thought that communications was, I wouldn't say easy, but it was more of a simple thing to do. However, it is more complex than what I had in mind. So it was really an opportunity for me to expand my knowledge on what it takes to be a successful sport manager in this arena. Also, I can learn from my mistakes and use my weaknesses to grow and perfect my craft. I hope you all enjoy.